Conserve the Culture is now kind of been taken over by Charlie Kirk's organization, Turning Point USA.
Okay.
It's kind of like the HBC version of Turning Point.
Michael Popok, by the looks of
Shit,
things,
what the hell is
time
that?
for legal AF after
I
dark.
did something bad. Hold on. Hold on. I did something bad.
Now I can't hear you.
Sorry about that. My bad.
You gotta change the
We are live
I think you need
streaming.
the microphone.
Oh, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
All
You
right.
can tell. Sorry about that. I accidentally panicked and closed a window. Sorry. We're good.
So you were saying Charlie Kirk's Turning Point is now involved in this?
It's yes, and this organization, Conserve the Culture, is now like basically like the HBU version of Turning Point.
Mm.
You know, to try to con young people into, you know, the conservative fascist movement.
What's HBU?
Historically Black University.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you were saying it's likening it to the Oz campaign for that woman in Germantown who was sort of the
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's his
Yeah,
MO.
it's a lot of their MOs when they're trying to pander,
Yeah.
you know, to the African,
Yeah,
American community, is to, get like the token, that they have in their midst.
Right.
They do it with Tim Scott, with the Trumps for Black people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
our Black for Trump people, it's a super small minority, and then they make like a huge deal.
Yeah.
That
Like Candace Owens, or it's like the auto workers, where he gave a big speech to the auto workers. It implied it was the union, but it wasn't a union. Remember?
absolutely.
So it's the same idea.
Union shop.
Yeah, they find some place to, and these are getting more and more, quote, spontaneous, because they want him to go viral, right? So that one of a Black lady leaping into his arms, supposedly because she's so overwhelmed with love for him, when really she's being paid.
Absolutely.
And she's been spouting right-wing propaganda for a long time. That's her whole platform. She's like a mini Candace Owens. In fact, I think she was like part of that network or something like that. I vaguely read the
It makes sense. It's right along this same vein as over the Diamond and Silk.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
Right.
But speaking of Sheila Armstrong, who is the lady that we were talking about from the Oz campaign,
Germantown, yeah.
she's actually running the Moms for Liberty branch in Philadelphia.
Wow. Wow. Didn't learn her lesson from the Oz campaign. Okay.
All right. Well, here real fast is the
The story, are you sharing
let me
it?
do that if you're curious, since you brought it up. Oh, come on. Let me share. What the hell?
No, you just click on that. Yeah. That should give you the options.
Where is it? There we go. All right. So, Michaela Montgomery is a political consultant and former Georgia GOP intern. So the lady that leapt into Trump's arms. Video of a Trump supporter hugged the presumptive Republican nominee and shouted out support during a visit to an Atlanta Chick-fil-A. Turned out to be a Republican operative, according to social media posts reviewed by this Midas Touch Network. Nothing about Trump is da 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 da. So yeah, it's all staged. She wears blah blah blah. So where's her business? I don't know. I guess we have to look at her social media, and I'm not going there.
I have that on the AP article about this incident.
Right. Well, there she is interning. So I guess we've identified her. So I will stop screening. I will stop share. Oops. Stop share. All right, now I can see your face.
Mhm.
Yeah, I found that the information about her organization from AP.
Cool. So what are your typical news your sources for news? Where do you go?
I'm kind of all over.
Yeah.
You know, I read a lot of AP, Reuters. I read The Intercept. I read some of everything.
ProPublica, I'm guessing.
Yeah, a lot of ProPublica. Like when I'm doing data journalism, you know, I'll read a lot of ProPublica. There's a few others that
Right.
are real good about that.
Yeah.
I prefer it but that's because I'm a journalist to go to, the sources, of like the information. So like if I'm reading about a poll, I'll go to the pollsters, and read it from there and like figure it out myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So she runs, you're saying Moms for Liberty.
Yeah, Sheila Armstrong. Yeah.
Okay.
The Philly branch in Philly. She's somewhere in West Philly, apparently, because she approached me a few months ago as I was coming home from synagogue. Like, and like my synagogue isn't that far from my house. It's only a couple of blocks from my house. So
Right.
like I just happened to, be on the trolley, because I didn't feel like walking, and I had to stop by the drugstore to pick up medication. And like she like confronted me like to try to get me to do an interview with her
Wow.
like that day. I'm like, yo.
Wow.
So she remembered you from the Oz thing?
No, she remembered me from when I covered the Moms for Liberty
Oh, right.
protest.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Because she was there and I didn't recognize her at the time because like there was just so much going on.
Right.
And I was like cops were like coming up behind me as it was. And like I needed to like break off from that.
Mhm.
So like I was, there
Sure,
were people
you
telling
weren't.
me, but
But she's still around and she still wants your support. Is that what's happening?
I don't know if she wants my support, but she feels like she needs she thinks I'm gonna platform her.
Okay.
Uh,
That's right.
yeah.
That's weird.
So yeah.
So I don't know if you guys spoke last week about the prison
We did.
change at the head. Okay.
We
Okay.
did. I meant to because Parker hired the new person to take over
Right.
Blanche Carney's spot,
Mm-hmm.
but I forgot to find that before I got on today because I worked till like 5 this morning.
All right.
So
Yeah.
No worries. No
Yeah.
worries. We can always go through some of the fake stuff. And also, Steve and I had a interesting week. We had a our first right to know request.
good.
Yeah. The local community council has like a huge list of I think I might have mentioned they're kind of trying to block the rezoning of the Philadelphia's one of 3 water reservoirs. One of them is in East Falls area.
Yeah.
And since it was the reservoir was built before we had zoning, it's incorrectly had like a residential zoning because people were just kind of living out there. So now that they want to redo the whole thing, they need proper zoning, and the community council sees this opportunity because they got leverage, right? Because you can block zoning as a community council, but once they get civic zoning, then they're able to do civic things without community involvement.
Yeah.
So they see this opportunity and they've created a list of like 10 pages of demand things they need and protections down to like what kind of landscaping, how many lumens they want a bench and lighting for this memorial that's on one, like all this kind of shit. So, but they weren't telling us what it was because they didn't want, obviously they said it was 4 to 5 pages long. Turns out it's like 10. But anyway, so we got it. We don't know what to do with it because I don't know what a community agreement's supposed to look like. And the water company and zoning is saying, you don't even put stuff about the zoning and about benches and lighting in the zoning change. A zoning change is zoning. That would be
Yeah.
planning. That would be permits, right? It's not zoning. So everybody seems confused. So I don't know what to do with it, but I don't know. What do you do when you get a right to know request?
Well, I mean, I come through the information and I approach it like because I already have my frame,
Mhm.
like what I'm looking at and what I'm looking for.
Right.
And like I go through and I find the information that, pertains to that. And then I'll read it, a second or a third time,
Mhm.
to find out if there's any new reporting that I
Right.
can make on it,
Gotcha.
based from it. Because sometimes you'll find things you didn't even know,
Right. Right.
you
But you might not even understand. Like once I
Yeah,
got
you-
it, I'm like, hey, I actually don't know anything about zoning.
Yeah, I mean, do
agreements.
you share it with other sources who are experts or
Right.
other organizations?
Sometimes, yeah.
Reliable?
Sometimes, yeah. If I feel like I need to,
Mhm.
Yeah.
if I need, if I need to talk to, like when I was doing the prison stuff, I talked to a lot of lawyers, a lot of, advocates for,
Mhm.
Prisons, and I talked to like professors and
Right.
doctors and like pretty much, some everybody, psychiatrists.
Well, yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah. That's a great idea, Steve. Maybe we could even bring it to the truth guy. What's his name? Evan.
Oh,
Evan
Evan
Lane.
Lane, yeah.
He might be a good guy.
Yeah, and the reason I was asking about we're still talking about the water.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Keep going. Sorry,
Um,
I derailed us. I
Oh,
didn't
that's
mean to.
okay. Yeah, the reason I was thinking about the change at the head of the prison system is because I read another article about the whole Parker plan, which they did a piece in the Inquirer, and as you probably already guessed, there's not enough capacity in the prison system, and there are not enough beds in rehab facilities to support this, offer them prison or offer them treatment.
Well, I mean, the whole offer them prison, thing is dumb and counterproductive from the get-go. Like
Yeah.
offering somebody to harm themselves or, go into rehab that they also aren't ready for, it's idiocy.
Yeah.
It's idiocy.
Yeah. It seems
Yeah.
performative for the neighbors.
It absolutely is. The entire thing that they're doing in Kensington is performative. Like the rule that they just put passed about closing restaurants,
Right.
after a
Right.
certain time,
Yes.
which, mind you, the Asian American community already fought off
Right.
because it disproportionately impacts
Of course it
their
does.
restaurants.
Of course it does. And that's just messed up.
But it like, what problem are you actually solving? People doing business?
Right.
Like, people get fucking hungry at fucking midnight, especially if they're smoking pot.
Or anybody, people getting off
Yeah.
work need food. They need
Yeah, absolutely.
more used
Like,
to that. It seems so punishing.
like I work, I do a lot of work in the middle of the night because, during the day I'm running around taking care of John. Like I've got karate, I've got, classes that I'm preparing for that. I've got other work that I'm doing, I've got meetings, so I do a lot of my like writing at night. And before, like, I decided that I'm gonna like get super healthy, I would occasionally order Chinese,
Sure.
partly for the bowls, because I need the bowls.
The
Yeah.
bowls.
Yeah, you're not Southern, so you don't know like how important like both like butter bowls and like the Asian bowls are. Super important for tea, like cereal.
I lived in Georgia for 10 years. I don't know what
That
you're
doesn't
talking
make you
about.
Southern. That doesn't make you
Talked
Southern.
about, sir.
That makes you about as Southern as me living in
I know about
in
Southern
PA
things.
for 20.
what I know about Southern. You know about Philadelphia. You know about pretzels. You're not like, what are these things? You understand. You know what a soft pretzel is. You don't have to.
How many
Philadelphia
bowls? How many butter
cheesesteak.
bowls do? How many butter bowls do you have in your
You know what you're
cabinet?
talking. I've never heard of the term butter bowls. I've heard butter beans.
No, you really?
Yeah, I don't know butter
You've
bowls.
never.
Do you mean like the
margarine
parquet things?
tubs?
Right. Yeah, the margarine
margarine
tubs.
tubs.
Margarine tubs.
How many-
Butter doesn't come in a bowl. Margarine does.
That's a bowl.
It's a tub.
It's a bowl.
It's a tub. So you
That is
eat
a
out of
cereal bowl
No,
right
wait.
there.
So how do Asian restaurants factor into your butter bowls? Where are they coming from?
Oh, because that's like my
Where
they're like my smaller, bowl / plate,
Oh, like
for for the
Those
takeout.
things.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
imagining the cardboard boxes. You're not
No.
Oh
gonna-
no. That's the only thing that comes in that is like the really crappy
The
one.
rice comes in that.
The rice.
Yeah.
And like if you go to like the really crappy
Old school.
Chinese
used to all
restaurant.
come in that.
Yeah,
It used to always come in
yeah.
it, but
Those
now
other
it's
ones-
now they
the
come
icy-
in.
So you like the
They're handy.
the
Yeah.
yes, the handy
You still haven't
Like,
answered
they're
my
like
question. How many butter bowls do you have in your cabinet?
well, better yet, how many actually have lids?
It's just
I don't know where the lids
I have
go.
lids. I have lids
I
for
don't know.
things that I haven't had for years.
That's exactly. I've got lids for things that aren't fit, and then I have the things with where'd the lids go? Like, what happens? Do the lids change? I'm gonna be rectangle today. Ha! Like, is that what's going on in my cabinet? I don't know.
That is another for some things is those lids are plates.
The lids are plates.
For
Oh my god. Oh my God.
sandwiches and
Paper towels are plates for sandwiches.
don't get started down that road.
I was right. You don't dirty a plate for a sandwich, you. I'm not, you use a napkin and you like it.
What are we, animals?
Exactly. I know. I like how we all came from the posh lifestyle. We're all quite posh.
Putting on airs
Definitely.
like we do.
Nice we do.
So anyway, yes. So yes, that's the whole thing is you're shutting down business in addition to whatever else this crazy performative nonsense is that she's doing.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing that what the hell is his name? The fucking asshole before.
Kenny.
Kenny.
Fucking
Yeah.
asshole before.
That he was doing, only worse.
Yeah.
Instead of just rousing them and making them move along, and disrupting their little communities, they're just fucking arresting them now and threatening them.
Did they give up? Did they give up on partnering up therapists with police? Is that just an experiment that lasted for 2 seconds?
I don't know. I have not heard anything about
Not that it
in a
would
long
matter
time.
because again, there's no beds and there's no real jail cells at this point. But I guess going into the budget, you probably would see what that's going to lead. It's probably all the money to the jails. I would imagine. Just
But
as
again,
a-
with that, putting them in jail isn't going to help them. It's just going to hurt them,
no.
especially in this jail.
Oh yeah, because there's no mental health or any other types of health in in those jails, right? From what I've read from your stuff.
It's very minimal and it's half-assed at best.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, Krasner was even saying, they quoted him as saying something to the effect of, even when they do get busted for possession, it ends up being a matter of months and you're back anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it really, when you do that, what you're doing is you're increasing the likelihood that they'll overdose when they get out. Because not only are they not, actually in recovery,
Yeah.
but their tolerance is diminished.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a bunch of reading about xylazine.
Whatever that is. The new fentanyl.
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
right.
one of my friends was telling me about that,
It's so
and
bad.
it's really, really bad. It can rot your skin and stuff.
That rots you from the inside out. The Narcan and all that shit doesn't affect it. It's not an opioid, it's a sedative. So you can actually die from withdrawal with this. It's so bad and so strong and so powerful.
Mm.
And people are like doing it straight now because it just gotten so bad. And the one thing that I thought was really interesting, and I kind of noticed it, like I don't like to, there's that whole like poverty TikTok or poverty, they go out to these horrible areas and they take
I
videos.
hate
It's
that
just
so
wrong.
much.
It's just so wrong.
And I mean, it's weird, because I've gone to these places
I
and
know.
I've photographed, but I do it in a way that tries to humanize,
Yeah, that's fine.
the people, and like this, whole poverty porn thing that
Yeah,
people are
yeah.
doing, in Kensington. It
Yeah.
is just so dehumanizing the
Really
way
is.
that they do it. They
It
don't
really
talk to the people. They don't want to talk to the people. They don't want to understand any of it. Like,
And some of
it's
them even,
gross.
well, and some of them, when they even do talk to them, I kind of feel bad.
Well,
People are so fucked up. Like, where's the consent? You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, that guy's gonna get on camera, like, well, but I mean, that's terrible. And even if the people are being so nice with the microphone and go be like, I wish you wouldn't do that, and trying to be nice to them, like the comment section is often just brutal. So
It
people
is.
just love
Like,
to
people
look
are-
at it and get
people-
mean about it,
People are disgusting. Matter of fact, this is pissing me off so much. I need a goddamn cigarette.
Take it
It's-
in, light up.
It's disgusting. People are disgusting,
It is.
and every day I lose a little bit more of my faith in humanity.
Hell. But the other thing that's kind of interesting, because I say I don't like to look at that or anything like that, but I do kind of keep one eye on people that are creating it and just like how many videos are going out on this subject and who are these people and how far, that sort of shit. And lately, when I take
A lot of them are right wingers.
Oh God, they are, and they're undercover right wingers. Like they're not clear about it. And
Yeah.
the people that they talk to afterwards are like, "We're hearing from the commerce person. And what does she say? She says these guys gotta get off the street because they're ruining the city." Of course, she's gonna say that. I mean, what the fuck? But my point is that speaking to the Xyla, whatever, the Trank thing. And this is something you might have noticed as well. When you cruise through Kensington these days, it's like a lot of wheelchairs.
Yeah.
They say that's the Trank, is that people are literally shooting up and their limbs are falling off.
I have a friend who's an artist, and she's done some photography. Mostly she's a painter, but she's lately done some photography with like people that she knows in Kensington.
Mhm.
Many of them, are opioid addicted or, somehow struggling with, and like some of the images that she's shown of like people's like their arms, like just
Yep.
it's
Bones.
yeah,
sticking
yeah,
out. Yeah.
yeah,
It's really
yeah.
bad.
It's shocking. It's shocking. And jail isn't gonna fix that.
Nope.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
The harm reduction that they've like all but decimated in the past couple of months isn't, it isn't gonna.
Yeah, and it's almost like they were shutting them down because they're saying how ineffective this is going to be. And they're trying to say, oh, we're going to have central locations, which are going to take people in. We don't need you guys who've been on the front lines and actually have experience with it to tell us that we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Right.
So it's a great way to silence dissent.
Right.
Yeah.
Wipe out all of that knowledge, all that lived everything.
Experience, yes.
And the effed up part is like all of the data, the actual data, and it pissed me off the other day when I heard her talk about how she's using data. No, she's not. She's doing the exact opposite of that. All of the data shows that harm reduction works.
Of course.
All of the data shows that meeting people where they are, and getting them to treatment through interactions works.
Yep. Meeting people where they are. That is huge, right?
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, that's huge.
It's like it's the same thing with just like, non-addicted, unhoused folks.
Yeah.
Like the answer is housing.
It is.
Duh.
It is. It's really weird. We'll spend money on anything else besides that.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Besides actually solving the problem.
Right, because when you think about it, there's a grant, it's not really a grant because the actual money that goes to the people that need it is like this. But there's a whole bunch of people who just put their hands out the administrative angle of it. So every grant that goes to a nonprofit, that umbrella takes its 30%, and then from there, the administrative however they invoice it all out.
Trickle down.
It's just insane.
Our FQHC, works with, Covenant House works with a lot of grants, and I see how it
Yeah,
is.
it's great.
It's hard to get.
Mhm.
They're, very, precise in what you need.
So specific, right? You can't possibly, that's not covered by this. But it's
Yeah.
the same. No, we're only covering the house part. So we can't cover, him being able to afford to move in. We're not covering the moving expense. It's like weird little definitions, right?
Yeah.
Maddening. It's just maddening,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I do have some
So-
fake news if anybody cares.
You did.
Did you wanna play with
some of them were pretty funny.
I thought so. I'm
Let's fire up the fake news machine.
fire
on,
up the
where
fake news
is-
machine. Woo, woo. All right, I'm sharing my screen. My favorite one. We're gonna.
I mean, it's the Baphomet one, because I actually had, a whole bunch of information about how Christians, co-op.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that one. The Baphomet. I love that one. Are we doing? Am I sharing? Can we see? I can't see.
You're supposed to be sharing, but I am only getting a black screen.
Me
Yeah.
too.
So go to the
Steve
share.
Fillmore has screen sharing, has started screen sharing.
Hold on,
So-
I'm doing something. See, look.
Hold on.
I don't need that.
So clear that. Yeah.
Where's
And
my Zoom?
Zoom.
I lost my Zoom.
Yeah. Whoop.
There's Zoom. I didn't do anything.
And knock them off again.
No, I didn't.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Huh.
I hear you.
I see
Zoom meetings
meeting
is
not
not
responding.
responding.
So hold on. I'm
Just-
heading in.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. New
There we
share.
go. Oh, that guy.
You see it now?
That moron.
Yeah, here we are.
I love the background of books to make them seem smart.
I know, right?
And watched it in my backyard and just sat there and looked at it. And I do a lot of sun gazing. I pay attention to the sun. I do moon gazing. I do a whole bunch of different things. But I just sat out there and watched it. It was.
That is the most
And that's
hipster
the thing,
shit.
They're teaching people to wear glasses to be afraid of nature. You're shielding yourself from nature. Nature is showing you all these beautiful gifts all the time. That's what's going on. That's why they sell you televisions instead. They try to take away the beauty of nature
Oh my God.
by giving you a television.
Yeah. So don't
But
use your.
get into it.
Why
Says the
is-
weird guy with like
Why would
random
glasses that are
rubber
in the
bands all over him.
nature,
Right.
The rays that are coming.
Wish
which
I
we
could
talked about,
adjust the sound.
UV rays are
Are
very
healing. So
good.
stare.
Health of life.
Stare at the
The
light.
healthiest cultures in the world are exposed to the most UV. UV.
So is the most skin cancer.
I was gonna say the
It's
same
called
thing.
What's
It's
So
radiation.
that's why
Moron.
Florida has so much skin
Now, you're looking
cancer.
at the eclipse.
What is he thinking?
Yeah.
What is he thinking?
He's an idiot. He's trying to profit off of like other morons, like super weird wanna be healthy people that are too stupid to actually listen to medical advice, and experts in their field. So they listen to Florida Dad here
Florida Dad.
and with his fake little library of books that he's never opened. And mind
They
you,
might be
I
stuck on.
Yeah, it's a
maybe it could
out.
be. It could be. They looked real, but I'm just saying. Like, and mind you, I'm a collector of books. I'm a
Sure.
bibliophile. I love collecting books, and I've read most of the books that I've collected. But like clearly, this guy has never read any of those books.
But what is in it for him? I guess he just wants the clicks. Is that
It's,
what
it's
happened?
always what it's
Hurt
about.
people's
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah,
Is that-
it's
well, this
It's always what it's about.
Well,
I
then
hope he gets sued by some dumbass that looked at that
Susan
after
guy.
watching his video.
All right, but this next person I don't think is looking for clicks. I think this next person is actually
just believes it's
is
It-
actually was
yeah.
sucked in to okay.
At least the anti-vaxxers are doing us the favor of purifying the gene pool when they murder themselves.
All right, so we ready for her?
Yes.
Steve hasn't
If
seen this.
you are a believer of Christ, you should not be supporting McDonald's. 2 years ago, they gave out free tarot card readings to their customers. Now they are making satanic Happy Meals for these children. The Bible tells us that there will come a time where evil will be called good and good will be called evil. Stop supporting companies with satanic agendas. We cannot be ignorant of Satan's devices. Don't allow the enemy to expose your children to be
Boy.
not of God. If you support McDonald's, you are supporting their satanic agendas. Stop supporting.
Does it
So-
come with a satanic toy?
So I
Yeah.
wish it did. That would
I
be
wish
fun.
it did too. Yeah, I would get that Happy Meal. I haven't eaten McDonald's in years, but if I could get a little Satan, yeah,
First of all,
definitely do that.
Baphomet is not a satanic character.
What is that?
It is not even
What is it?
an actual character. It is a term that was made up during the First Crusades in around like 1098
What is it?
by the Christian Crusaders. And most scholars actually think that it was a mistranslation or a mishearing or reading of the Arabic term for Muhammad.
That's Baphomet. Is that what you're
Yes. Well, but it was the Turkish translation of
Okay.
the
Okay.
Arabic term for Muhammad.
saying?
Like it's the Christians do this all the time. Most of the so-called demons
Mhm.
are former gods of like older cultures
Right,
that they have, colonized, for lack of a better word.
right.
And what they do is they'll take these old gods
Mhm.
and they'll convert them into demons so that they can make the older religion less palatable to the population,
Right.
and or justify slaughtering and like ethnically cleansing those
Right.
people.
Right.
It's similar to the Dome of the Rock, being over the Second Temple.
Mhm.
Oh,
You know,
right.
it's a way of like placing your religion over the colonized.
Right. But do you
Yeah,
think this lady
true.
even has any idea who Baphomet is?
Baphomet.
She probably links it to Crowley, which is what most people think of, like if they think of it at all, other than like, vague, satanic.
It just sounds
figure.
scary. Yeah,
It does,
Baphomet.
it does.
Yeah.
I like
Really,
how the
to me
burger
it
is
doesn't,
black.
but
Yeah,
to
roll.
me it doesn't. But also because it, Crowley like associated the symbol for Baphomet with the pentagram.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Look at you. Aleister Crowley. Look at you. Very cool.
That's why, because if you invert the
Mhm.
pentagram,
Right.
you get the goat figure.
Sure. That sounds
Where
right.
does the McDonald's arches come into that? How do you? Is it like in one of those puzzle games, the pentagram? You have to work it until you get the arches. Is that- I see you in hell.
Oh, that's funny. Well, on that note, we have one last that I really actually this one's kind of serious.
Oh, and by the way, we have a black cat here with us. so-
I know. Well, he's not fully black, but this one's kind of serious. So I actually
Worshippers. With your devil cat.
Your devil cat.
all right. I think we're sharing. Here we go, right?
Are we?
Democrats are the radical ones on this position because they support abortion up to and even beyond the 9th month.
Yeah, it's called murder, and no, nobody supports murder, asshole.
Even execution.
The baby is born, the baby is executed after birth
Oh.
is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
In case you're not.
That executed requires like some sort of state sanction,
Right?
or like.
Are we
seriously?
executing babies, Corey? You've been to jail. Is there a baby execution area like a nurse?
I know there is no baby execution area.
Are
And
babies on death row?
generally speaking, all baby killers or like child killers are fucked up.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how are they even able to say this? What is wrong in our world that you can literally say they're baby execution?
Because their base is so dumb that they will believe anything. They believe that people on the left are drinking blood. They believe the Jews are drinking blood.
But what about the independents? What about the undecideds? How can you be undecided or independent and not really trying to compare both sides when one side is literally saying we're executing babies?
I don't think there really is an independent side anymore. Like
No.
you're either
Right.
voting for Trump, you're voting for
Democracy.
a third party,
Yeah.
which is a vote for Trump,
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that
or you're
interesting?
voting for Biden.
I think they're just
Right.
fucking with the pollsters is what I
What
think.
about RFK? His poll person came out and said, like, literally, I think they got fired for it, but they said, like, hey, we're all just against Biden, right? So they literally admitted that they're trying to fuck up the election.
Of course.
Mhm.
So
Of course,
yeah,
like everybody that's funding fucking JF or RFK
Yeah.
is a former Republican, billionaire.
right. Are we gonna have like a Nader situation?
It's possible.
Mhm.
It's entirely possible.
Mhm.
I hope not, and I hope that the reality is that RFK takes more people away from Trump than he does,
Right.
Biden.
Right.
But I think as we get closer to the election, people are going to realize, that number one, that RFK doesn't stand a chance, period. Like he's only actually on the ballot in like what, 1 or 2 states.
I was gonna ask you that. How does that even work? How does he get on the ballot? Bless you. How does he get on the ballot, or what is going
A
on?
certain amount of voters, right? Or no? How do you-
You have to have like a certain number of signatures. You have to like have like a certain amount of money.
Right. I thought that was for being in the debate.
Well, no, that's to even get on the ballot
Oh,
too.
okay. Okay.
Like to be on the debate, during the primary is the same thing.
Right.
And that's actually, part of why they probably did that during the debate. Also, they just want to make sure that they're only putting viable,
Yeah.
Right.
and I use that term loosely,
Yeah.
candidates there.
Yeah, I wonder because I did see something that the Democrats were trying to gum the works up with the RFK campaign. And I think maybe they're doing what they do in Philly where they challenge the signatures. Maybe that's part of it. You know, how that-
I don't know. I heard something like vaguely
Mhm.
about that. I don't think that that's necessarily a smart move
Mhm.
in this climate. Like I think that the better option is to make your case,
Mhm.
and then have the PACs doing their job and like linking him to Trump.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's abundantly clear that's there. I think Trump was actually considering having him run as a vice president choice.
Really
Yeah, I'd heard that, like, I don't remember, maybe it was
interesting.
from the Pod Save America people
Yeah.
or the 538 people.
Uh-huh.
I thought I had heard that.
Right. Weird. Huh. Well, that would be an interesting ticket. But yeah.
It'd be a weird one.
It doesn't get much weirder, man. It just doesn't get much weirder. So is there anything else? Do you have any fake news items you would like to discuss or news?
I did not. You weren't you going to? Oh, what did you had a couple here?
Oh,
You
I
had
had
the
a
Jimmy
few more.
Kimmel one.
news.
Oh yeah, that was I was surprised that Jimmy Kimmel had fake news. I usually learn all my news from Jimmy Kimmel, but but that didn't work. Yeah, let me see. Copy.
I don't even understand why that had to be fact checked. Like, Jimmy Kimmel's a comedian. Like, of course he wasn't being serious.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. I thought it was. Hold on, where are we? One. Okay, share. And we're up.
You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I feel like this didn't get enough attention. On Friday, I think she tweeted about the earthquake in New York and the eclipse, saying, God is sending America strong signs to tell us
That was the part is the part that I thought was
and
funny.
many more things to come. That's right, there's a Godzilla coming too. I don't know if you have.
How do you know what an earthquake means?
But what makes this spectacular display of dim bulbery interesting is that the epicenter of the earthquake in New Jersey that she thinks God made happen to warn us was literally on Donald Trump's golf course.
Exactly, right? The epicenter was the yellow thing.
Yeah.
God put it
So.
on the San Andreas Fault.
The tannin. I do like that one.
Mar-a-Lago.
But he goes to what he was saying. I liked what he was saying about Marjorie Taylor Greene because, like, it goes to the idiocracy that has become the Republican Party, and maybe even the entirety of America.
It's
in
so
some
weird.
cases.
This is the first eclipse that people lost their shit.
Really?
The other
I
one,
feel
no
like
one
they
lost
always
their
lose
shit
their
last time.
shit.
Well, some people, but like we're literally getting like people on YouTube, all over the place for. I mean,
Maybe
one lady
just-
actually killed her whole family.
No way.
She was an astrological influencer in LA, and she stabbed her partner to death, got in the car with her 9-year-old daughter, 6-month-old daughter, threw them out of a moving car. 9-year-old lived, baby died. And then she slammed her car, her Lexus or something, or Benzie or whatever, into a tree going 100 miles per hour. So she did and died, and that was because leading.
Oh, sure. She gets the easy death of
Yeah,
100 miles per hour into a tree.
Right.
Meanwhile, her little
Baby.
kids are like,
Yeah.
scuffed all up and like
Yeah.
torn to pieces as
Yeah.
they died.
Yeah, not horrible. Yeah. And she had predicted horrible things were happening, and I guess like the sky didn't open up and do what it was supposed to do, and she just lost her shit and just. What do you got? You got something?
No, I was just looking up some things. But yeah, no, maybe it's just that there's more coverage of it
Stupid
now
people.
than before. When was the last eclipse? Was it
27, I thought.
2017?
2017, yeah.
Yeah, it was 2017 because I actually had a beautiful photo that was part of the like 10 or best photos of the eclipse for the
Nice.
BBC.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
Good for you. How did you take it?
I just took it with my lens and a couple of filters.
Oh, really? Nice.
Like I filtered the shit out of it, but
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I
was
guess you had to wear crazy
trying.
glasses.
No, I was trying not to look at it, directly,
Ah!
like trying to look through the viewfinder and like
Mhm.
try to get it because my cameras are older and so they don't show the image ahead of time
Right.
on the viewfinder or the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta update my cameras eventually
Yeah.
when I feel like doing more photography. I haven't felt like taking pictures in a while.
Really?
I just haven't been in the mood to really.
Gotcha. Are you doing anything for the election?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm enjoying my break from
Yeah.
journalism. Like I feel slightly less neurotic
Oh,
lately. Slightly.
slightly.
I still have a 9-year-old with ADHD, my own ADHD, and a house to manage, but
Yeah, you were going to a lot of events there for a
Mhm.
while. You were journalisming.
Yeah. And a lot of and DC stuff as well.
Yeah.
I did. I'd love to go back to, for, the inauguration or,
The riot.
any riot, get me to a
That'll
riot.
be part of our new tradition is the riot. The
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
right,
I was
right.
so
What are you doing for the
angry.
riot?
I was so angry.
You were so
that I
close, but you
missed
missed
that.
it. I know you were.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I was so clear, like John was in the other room, in the dining room at our old house,
Yeah.
like doing his school thing. And, I happened to come out into the living room and I saw what was going on. I was like,
I know.
why can't I be there? Why am I stuck here
Oh, no.
doing schoolwork with my kindergartner?
We thought it was all going to happen at the election, but the election was remarkably smooth in Philadelphia. Remember, like they were like talking about how they were going to have like thugs at the booths, but then nothing really happened of that.
I thought that was 2018.
Maybe that was.
I feel like it was 2018.
Yeah. I don't know. I just remember
They
that
did-
there was a time where you were going down and we were on alert, but nothing happened. And
Yeah,
then we
yeah.
didn't go down and then everything happened.
Yeah. Jesus.
Well, maybe you prevented your being there for that short period of time before prevented anything bad happening then. Maybe you're
Not because I was there for the one in 2017 when
Oh,
he
yeah.
was elected.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That was a mess. Oh, shit.
I remember Larry King's car being set off. That was so fucking great. Right in front of the Washington Post Office.
Ah,
Wow.
I didn't know. Oh, man. That's so
It was so great. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was
It's
beautiful.
It was so it's always so weird, like covering those sorts of things, because when like crazy shit's happening, like during that particular riot, there were like IEDs that were set off in like the parks,
Mhm.
and like I'm running towards it. Some cops are running towards it. Some cops are running away from it. Everybody else is running away from it. I'm running towards it. It is so crazy. And like as I'm going through, I'm thinking, am I mentally ill?
What am I
Am I insane? Why am I going in this direction?
doing?
Fuck it. Fuck it, let's keep going.
Right. Usually people see people running, they join them in that direction.
I don't know why I've never been that way.
This is how people determine which mushrooms are safe to eat.
It's Corey. I'll give it a go.
All mushrooms are safe to eat once.
Very true. It's very true.
Oh shit. Yeah. So no, that's
Is there any fake news from this week, Steve?
no, I like that we got our water department thing in because that's definitely something that we've often had that theory that after smaller local newspapers have shuttered up, I know we've talked about this before, but it's development corporations and registered community organizations. They're the ones who've sort of jumped in to fill the void. And of course, obviously it's all flattering for them and
It's all about property
all about
owners.
property values
and
and all that sort of
businesses.
thing. So, I mean, with this water department thing, it's really the ultimate
NIMBY.
entitlement of
Yeah.
property neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like why would you obstruct like better water quality for your city?
Well, they're
Like,
not.
It's already there.
Ding,
Like
ding.
the shit's already there.
Well,
Like
I know, but they've said that what they said very clearly, and they read it twice very carefully. We're not against the upgrades. We want the upgrades. It's just we need certain reassurances because these are our homes, and we need certain. It's going to be a massive project, and we need certain reassurances. And the water department said, of course, and we're willing to write it down in a community agreement. We're going on the record here in our city government. Is that good enough? And they say, no, we need it written into law. We need it binding and enforceable. And
well,
again,
I don't mind that. Like
No, no,
that's perfectly reasonable.
But
like
when you
had
get down
mentioned,
to lumens and shrubbery,
yeah,
that's the part that they don't need. They can't lock in all of that little stuff. They can lock in the footprint. They can say, even though it's civic use, we're not going to allow, hospitals or this or that, like there's all kinds of ways they can lock it in, and they're happy to lock it in zoning wise. And also if it doesn't work out for the zoning, if it gets locked in terms of the planning part of it, the permits part of it. But again, my problem is that when you're going into 10 pages and when you want a special benches and when you want special,
like that's just some bougie ass shit. Like
That is.
you worried about fucking benches?
right. And they literally say like, we want these hedges to be this caliber. When you put a tree in, it has to be so much caliber, and it has to be a combination of evergreen and a pleasing combination of evergreen and deciduous trees and shrubbery that will provide appropriate
Bring me a
cover all
shrubbery.
year. Yeah, that's all I hear too. That's all I hear too. Oh, bring us a shrubbery.
For my level.
For a bi-level effect. Yes. like that's what we're at here. And that's where I really hope that there are some civic processes that can, I don't know, put a foot up their ass and, let us have our water.
Yeah. And
At the end of the day, it's up to city council,
Yes.
and
Really
they're going to do what they want to do. And I don't think that this city council is going to allow,
I hope not.
a bunch of NIMBY neighbors to fuck up the water supply
Right?
for a huge section of the city.
It's everyone actually. This is the part of the redundancy. So they have to drill a freaking tunnel under the Schuylkill River to connect I mean, this is a massive engineering job that's going to start soon, but this job isn't going to start until 31, the planning, 2033, the execution. Speaking of that, so anyway, these people are very old. So I don't even know if they're going to be around. But, I mean, really, let's be
You're gonna die
realistic.
before this starts happening. Shut the fuck up.
Not to be morbid, but I don't know, guys.
You already got one foot in the grave. Don't make me kick you in. Don't make me get Spartan on you.
You got one shot. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our challenge this week, is to figure out what to do with that. And I appreciate being able to
That's,
bounce it off you and to see your stunning look as
Yeah.
well. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we're fighting our fake
You're
news.
bouncing
Yeah.
off like the biggest asshole in Philly. Like,
But it makes me, if the biggest asshole in Philly is still,
Yeah.
we're
So that's our part, fighting fake news in our neighborhood. So that's what we're doing.
trying in this one instance.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I
Well,
guess
cool.
on that note, this has been a very interesting conversation. I think it's been a nice clip.
it has. I think it has, and I think that it was somewhat planned better. Not as scripted as I think we could be, and I
Yeah.
think we would benefit from.
Agree. Agree.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get there. Either you or I will take that lead when we feel it. I mean, it's still just not, it's a little bit of a challenge. Even getting a few fake news things is a little challenging, just, having them. But I think that, we'll get an intro would probably be good. Like, here's who we are and here's why we're here, instead of me just like turning it on and going, what's going on? So I think that might be nice. Our friend Justine was like, do you guys want a theme song? And I'm like, no. But she's like, you should have some music.
Yes, we
there.
should.
Some music that
Yes.
plays in it, also we're paying attention. Yeah, no, I've got plans.
Production values.
Production.
Yeah.
Production.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, we need to get our
In the
board-
meantime.
we need to get our board updated.
Yeah, you guys need to have like funny saying back.
We
Something,
should. We have
yeah.
plenty of room to
Yeah,
put
but
them in, but
I
I know
can't
he sees.
even. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best I got.
Yeah, that's the most we've thought this
That's
through.
all I got. It's all I say every day. I can't even. So, but yeah, this has been fun. We'll do this again, hopefully, and get our shit together and make it tighter and tighter. But I like this one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hopefully, I'll figure out like a better schedule to do this, so I'm not working till like 5 in the morning
Oh.
Oh,
the
you're
night
tired.
before. Oh, I am
Aw.
pooped, and I
Aw.
gotta, because I haven't made all of the money that I want to make for
Yeah.
for this week. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for
goals.
making the effort. I mean, that.
Yeah. Appreciate
Oh no, I love it. This is
Yeah.
a joy. I do this out of the joy.
Very cool.
All
Very
righty.
cool. Well, it was fun. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
rid of our